Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Today we will be presenting our critical feedback on the recently done impromptu speech. So our chosen speaker for this task is Nurul Sarina binti Zakaria. Okay, in the first round she received the topic catcalling, whereas in round 2 she received 3 things you would bring to a deserted island. So this is the contents that we will be focusing on for today.
Firstly, we are going to analyze the attractive presentation aspect. First, the speaker used attention getter in the speech opening, whereby the speaker suddenly whistle "peewit" before uttering any words in the first round. So her whistle started the audience, but managed to attract the audience, even though it looks like bizarre, but it still make the audience interesting to watch the whole presentation. So secondly, there was anecdote, and the speaker shared her experience working with friends being catcalled while talking about these uncomfortable feelings of being catcalled. So the speaker tells story about disadvantages of being catcalling by showing true life experience. And the third one, the repetition of so in round one, the speaker using so my topic catcalling. So when we call catcalling continuously, it makes the speech less interesting, but uh, because the speaker can use many other words such as in addition, moreover, to make sure that the presentation still have variety. And the fourth one, interacting with the audience, the speaker asks the audience a few questions by empathy. For example, asking them to put themselves in the situation of being catcalled, like, what about you? Would you feel proud of it? To know about the audience feelings. And also, the speaker asked the audience to imagine being stranded on an island, which is a good approach to make sure that it was two-way communication. This make the audience feel included in the speech.
In terms of clarity, we can see that the audience actually understand exactly what the speaker is saying. However, in certain parts, the speaker use like inaccurate terms. For example, she used observed by men instead of stat by men, and she also used dress well instead of dress modestly. However, she managed to make audience understand by elaborating for clarity. For example, when she uses dress well, she elaborate dress well, dress by covering your aura. That way, the audiences could understand clearly what she is trying to convey. Next, she also always provide examples for precision. Uh, for example, she uses like, "You look so beautiful today," to explain that on some perspective, the the words can be praises, but when it comes to stranger, the word are actually can be categorized as catcalling. Other than that, we can see that the speaker also use code switching for clarity. This is when she uses Malay word in explaining. For example, "Oi, cantik lah you," to help her audience understand what she's trying to convey, because her audience um, are actually Malay. So that is convenient for her to use a Malay word to code switch in Malay. Other than that, she also used incorrect use of term that may lead to confusion. For example, she used if the word effect instead of effect. So this may lead to confusion because it's not clear. When it's not clear, the message cannot be understood by the audience, and if the message is not clear also, it can lead to misunderstandings. Alright.
Okay, next is how the speaker's pronunciation was clear, except for certain words such as machete. So when the speaker first pronounced this word, it was a bit off. So this kind of error might throw off the audience's attention to the speech. Now, the use of the language itself was not complex and could be easily understood as the words used were common and familiar to the audience. So, this somehow shows the speaker's ability to adapt her speech to suit the level of her audience. So, because she realized that the audience in front of her is her peers and colleagues, so she decided to use simple terms and not complex terminology. Next, the speaker's message was specific and did not contain any vague language. For example, in round two, the topic was three things you will bring to a deserted island. So the speaker used relevant words to the topic, such as rope, magnifying glass, and machete. So this shows how she went straight forward by using some relevant words rather than uh, using certain words that are totally far off from the topic itself. Now, the speaker's tone was calm yet friendly, and the pace of the speech was appropriate, allowing the audience to follow along. Now, this is because if she were to fasten her pace, then we as the audience might unable to follow along or maybe pay attention to the speech. So that will make the speech loses its what do you call its aura.
Okay. Next, we have logical sequence aspect, whereby in round one, the speaker's speech was very well organized. It had introduction, body, and conclusion. And on top of that, we can see that the speech was well structured by using a problem cause solution pattern, in which problem cause solution pattern is when you describe a poem, identify what you believe in is causing the problem, and then recommend a solution to correct the problem. In this case, in round one, the speaker describe how the catcalling is a problem and identify the reason why it called as a problem, and then she recommended solutions to solve the problem, in which she said that don't pay too much attention about the calling, and we can see the usage of linking words in transition. The speaker overused so and an as linking verb when she wanted to transfer from point one to point two, she only used and it makes a little bit confusion to the audience. She in which meaning that she actually can use other words to make sure that each of the point is different. For example, moreover, moreover, in addition, and in round two, we can also see that the speaker's speech was also well structured and organized. The speaker used logical order. The speaker lists the item she wishes to bring to an island and proceed to elaborate on the reason according to the list one by one. It's in a logical order, so the audience easily grasps the situation and the main points of her speech. There was a clear flow of ideas and the speaker presented them coherently. An improvement that could be made is to increase the use of cohesive devices. For example, she can use finally, firstly, and the cohesive devices that's suitable.
Alright, in terms of nonverbal communications, in round one, we can see that the speaker does not optimize the use of the stage even though she was moving. The stage use is still limited because she was moving like in a um, minimally. She moved minimally. Uh, this is due to the fact that she refused to leave the cue cards area. So that's why the stage use is still limited. In terms of eye contact, the eye contact of the speaker is not random. Speaker focuses mainly only on only one area of the room, which where the judge was seated. Um, Other than that, controlling gesticulations, she used a good hand gesture instead of distracting, using distracting hand gesture in delivering her speech, which may prevent audience from absorbing what she's saying. She used her hand with purpose. For example, used uh, she used hand movement when she wants to describe the body shape. So that's is important to assist audience to understand better. She also put verbs into action, which she physically acting them out with the hands, face, or entire body, which show her sincerity and enthusiasm. In round two, the speaker has good use of the stage where she move around with purpose rather than moving too much or moving too minimal, too little. She move around with purpose. However, due to holding her cue cards, the speaker has less use of gesture, which should be more for the audience to understand better. There was no improvement from the aspect of maintaining eye contact, in which when she cannot maintain good eye contact or random eye contact, she was not able to establish a connection with the audiences, which whereby some audiences would feel left out. All right. An improvement that can be made is using more gestures that will surely help in enhancing the speech and to improve in doing random eye contact instead of focusing on one place only. Aina, your mic.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So now for confidence and enthusiasm. Okay. In the first round, we can see frequent pauses happening at the end of the speech because the speaker was trying to find suitable words. However, this kind of frequent pauses lead to repetition, such as when you are too, when you are too. Now, this kind of repetition may makes the overall balance of the speech a bit off, and the audience may not be able to follow along well what the speaker is trying to convey. Now, however, the speaker still manages to have good composure, and there are certain times where the speaker is found to be fidgeting, such as playing with her fingers or touching her ring to control her nervousness. So this is also able to make the audience pay more attention to her fidgeting rather than to the speech itself. Now, we also think that the closure could be more enthusiastic rather than I think that's all from me in a weak tone. This is because the whole speech was very well presented. However, due to that weak tone, the enthusiasm level could be seen was decreased at the end of the speech. In the second round, the speaker can be seen to be confident and enthusiastic in explaining the things she will bring to a deserted island. So this is evident when she was able to insert a very playful joke such as, if I were to be on a deserted island, at least I want to feel like I'm on a holiday. So this signifies how she is very confident in herself, in the topic, and in what she is able to deliver, since she is able to deliver a very playful remark. However, we best believe that it will be better if the speaker maintains more eye contact with the audience, because as explained by my friend just now, the speaker kept focusing on one place, which is the judges area, instead of looking at her surroundings, which is the audience. So this might make the audience feel a bit left out. So that is all from us. Thank you very much.